was hitting as well. The toe of that tank was just on the edge. Thorzain with a drop, going to deny this third. Really good planning by Thorzain. He's thinking, okay, we've both settled into a macro game. I'm dropping my third. What would Select be doing? What would I be doing if I was Select? Cloak Banshee coming up, attacking this tank, but Thorzain said, well, if I was Select, I'd be taking a third, because that's what I'm doing, so he must be too. So Thorzain going to send out these Marines with Stim in this medevac, going to deny this third for a little bit. And that just puts extra pressure on Select. It delays him, gets him even farther behind. So Thorzain, really good planning. He is going to actually Stim up. Yeah, he is microing, going to try to kill this. Oh. He's trying to attack this command center. Repair probably going to need to... Oh, no, these Marines are going to clean this up. Select with a significant Marine force. So he is going to clean that up and land his third, but it does look like Thorzain was able to split up Select's army, kept reinforcing his contain, and he increased his advantage. He's up 15 supply now instead of 10. So Thorzain making great moves in this game. He nullified Select's early advantage with the Cloak Banshees by just staying calm, getting out that Raven, and now he's set up a beautiful middle split of the map. I mean, the only route Select really would have is to try to swing all of his forces around and hope that Thorzain tried to pull back and Select was able to get a better position. A lot of time you can do that in TvT. You force repositioning by poking and prodding at other areas of the map, and you hope that maybe your opponent doesn't have the ability to position on the fly as well as he does when he's just reinforcing a contain like this. So you're trying to basically outplay him in micro and fast decision making, which Select is really good at, so we might see him do that. Select holding this little middle gold base here, try to see if there's any flanks coming around. Thorzain going for a fast fourth. I really like this because if you look at how the game's developed, we went from, oh, and another drop from Select. Okay, a big drop from Select actually. Tank, about 8 Marines. Wow, Thorzain with the siege tank in his main, and the Marines and the SCVs, 2 siege tanks in his main. Going to clean this up really easily. Great planning by Thorzain. Thorzain knows that this contain here with these siege tanks and this Marine line is not going to be significantly affected by having 1 or 2 tanks and, you know, a handful of Marines missing. So he makes his main safe by doing that. But what I was getting at with the 4th base timing from Thorzain is that we've seen this in both games now by Thorzain, where to realize when players are settling in. It's a really good skill to know what your opponent's thinking. It's actually probably one of the most sought after things in StarCraft. I mean, we often get that information from scouting, but Thorzain seems to be getting the information from feel, almost. He's realizing, okay, this game started out with aggression, Select came in, started attacking my main, he started throwing in those Cloak Banshees, he wanted to do some damage. Then Select expanded behind that, so he's trying to play an advantage off of that harass. Now, with both of us being somewhat equal now in terms of army, in terms of tech, I'm going to go ahead and take a 4th. Because Select is comfortable. He's probably going to be comfortable in standard to sit on 3 base and think that he's equal with me. So I take an advantage that he doesn't know about or that his timing is different from, and he's not going to have an attack coming. So this is really brilliant from Thorzain. He's putting himself in a position to win that 28-minute game, that 35-minute game. He's looking to the future, and that's really good forward thinking by Thorzain. And we do see the army advantage still in Thorzain's side. 2 tanks up. He is less in Vikings, but he does have the Marine advantage and that Raven, so the point defense drone is a good thing. You know, anything extra helps as far as the detection. It's going to stop any Banshee play. Select couldn't make a switch to, say, Mass Cloak Banshees. Now, Select moving around with these Marines, doing a little bit of scouting, taking over that Xel'Naga. And look, here's Thorzain doing the same thing as he did at this 3rd, over at a prospective 4th. He has these Marines. So let's say, oh, and drop coming in from Thorzain. Oh, no, that's just a Viking prod. Okay. Thought that was going to be a drop. Thorzain just neglecting to, you know, include any medevacs in that. I don't think that was the intent. He's just scouting ahead. He was thinking about dropping a lot of this force, but it looks like he's actually still focusing on that. He is going to load these up and attempt to drop. He did scout that out. He knows that Select's significant force of his army is out on the map, so he's going to try to drop Select's main and hold this contain at the same time. It is kind of risky from Thorzain. He's really split up. If you notice, all these forces right here are not sieged at the Xel'Naga, and Thorzain is stemming up the side like I was talking about. So we have dual prong attacks coming in here. Thorzain going up, destroying everything at the Xel'Naga. At the same time, we do have Select stemming up. Thorzain dropping the entire drop in the main. About 4 full medevacs dropping, siege tanks going up. And Thorzain has a sick advantage as far as upgrades. He has 1 attack and 1 vehicle attack on his Marines and his tanks there. And we do see, is there going to be even more? Yeah, even more upgrades coming from Thorzain. So his advantage is huge in the upgrade department. If he can stop this at his 3rd, Thorzain is going to win this game. This is huge. Select stimming up, microing. He's trying to kind of... Oh, Thorzain repairing smartly. This is great by Thorzain. He's going to reinforce constantly with the stream of units from his main. He's going to pull back his contain, stop this, and save his command center. Thorzain playing brilliantly. His drop is still not cleaned up. These Marines cleaned up any fourth from Select, and we do see Thorzain is actually going to stop this. He's going to be able to reland his third, and he saved a lot of those SCVs. Thorzain playing really, really well right now. I mean, 99% of players would lose their third. 99% would lose their third in that situation to that drop. Oh, Marines getting out of position by Thorzain. They weren't on hold. They are going to get taken down by these siege tanks. Thorzain still does have just a couple of Marines and a siege tank. This drop's going to get cleaned up. Select is going to be cleaned up, but Thorzain with the overwhelming advantage. I mean, he's behind in supply at this exact second, but if you look at sort of like, I mean, let's look at the income tab here. Thorzain is... Wow, actually, I'm completely wrong. Excuse me. Thorzain is a little behind in income. Select is up in the harvesters. He's up in the current mining. I mean, once this third base gets resaturated, Thorzain will regain that advantage. But he is down in supply and income right now. So Select doing a really good job. I did not think he was going to come out as far ahead as he did in that. Thorzain continuing to harass, trying to stop this fourth from Select. He's done a really good job of denying expansions in this game. Not exactly denying, but just delaying. And that's really all you need. But I think that this game for Select is going to boil down to upgrades. If we look at Thorzain and his production, I mean, he's constantly getting upgrades. He has 2-1 on his Marines and he has 2-0 on his tanks. Select has 0-0 on his tanks and 1-0 on his Marines. That's huge. For those Marines to be able to absorb tank fire like that is just ridiculous. I mean, the advantage there is insurmountable for Select, and Thorzain again stopping this fourth. Select banking so much money, unable to produce, unable to be there, because his whole strategy was contingent on getting his fourth and upgrading production structures at the same time. He didn't go for some kind of all-in off 3 bases, so he doesn't have the production to support all these banked minerals. Oh, this is looking really bad for Select. I mean, Thorzain was behind there for a second, but you have to realize when you come out of an advantage, or excuse me, when you come out of a battle like that where you do so much damage to your opponent's production structures in their main, and their mining in their main, and their tech, and then yourself are able to save your third command center that he sort of base trades for, is huge. Attack coming in now, Select with a sick surround here. Great concave, comes in around this small portion of Thorzain, but that really wasn't the bulk of Thorzain's army. He has a lot more coming down here, and if we look at his units, I mean, he's still up on Select, a ton of Marines up. And these Marines absorbing so much tank fire with these upgrades. They still get chewed up pretty easily by tanks, but those first initial blasts didn't kill them like they should. And we just see Thorzain able to siege right outside Select's natural. So Thorzain really taking an aggressive stance here. Select is unable to produce at Thorzain's rate. Thorzain is denying all kinds of drops with these Marines at his fourth, and he's going to constantly reinforce. He's probably even going to try to elevator drop right here, because Select is going to be able to contain Thorzain from pushing with this tank line at his natural. But if Thorzain can just elevator drop into his main and kill all the production, Select is out of this game. I mean, honestly, if you want to be realistic, Select's out of this game anyway, barring some Boxer-esque style wizardry. But, you know, with Thorzain taking his fifth, Thorzain's production so ridiculous. If we look at that right now, constant units coming out. He is getting Terran vehicle armor now, every upgrade advantage for Thorzain. Thorzain's getting shelled a little bit by his tanks, but now here he goes. He's dropping, elevator dropping into the main. The siege tank's going to cover that. Beautiful cover on those tanks right at the edge of the cliff, killing anything that tries to stop that. And now Select's production is completely under siege. He has really no way to come back in this game. You see him, he is trying to take his I guess that would be his fifth base, but I mean, nothing's really fully saturated right now. Select way behind. If we look at units, Thorzain is behind in SCVs, but really the story is Thorzain's positioning and his ability to produce. He's completely killed Select's production. Select has 2 factories there. He's lifting everything in his main. He has, he's now trying to throw down a bunch of barracks at his third, but look at Thorzain. Thorzain's got, wow, 5 reactor barracks and 2 factories, an additional 2 factories in his main, another barracks. Thorzain, ridiculous production, now even taking the gold, just macro beast style. I mean, this is the sign of an amazing player. When you're saturating a gold, you're on 5 or 6 base Terran, and you're keeping your money down. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're going to look to see him add more production facilities, maybe some factories now, because it is going to skyrocket with that gold. But Thorzain is just completely in control of this game, and Select's going to have to tap out. There's really a drop from Thorzain. Thorzain just stopping everything. He is all over the map at all times, completely harass-based, but